Actually, maybe she does. But I was like, you know what? Fuck, she's right. And so I hung up the phone and I was like, all right, let's just have a hoot with this thing. And I remember we went out and it was so cold. I think Steve was breaking strings. I mean, we're just strumming and it was, but I turned it around and I made light of it and I was joking and I became the better version of myself. And we had a great show. And so there are pointed moments, that I write, and then I went back to the room and I wrote it down and I was like, you know what, that's one of the reasons I married this woman, is because she can call me out on a moment like that. And not only did she help me, she helped Cassadee and Steve and maybe a bunch of other people,
maybe a bunch of people in the audience,
that didn't know what was going on. And we had a great little thing, and it was, whatever, it was 25-minute set or whatever it was, and froze our ass off and then went back in and warmed up and got something to eat. I mean, so but those are, so there are things I've written down that are kind of very personal that are like that.
Well, that's a great story.
And
then, that's a part of the business. I think that's a great story, man.
Thanks. Yeah. One other one real quick, since I think you're, if you like those kinds of things, this was one of the things that stuck with me a lot. When I first joined Cher, I talked a little bit with Paul Mirkovich about the job and about, because I'm going to try to gather information and, figure out how am I going to fit in. But he had been doing it for so long, and it's a very demanding job. But some of the songs after a while, I would think would grow tired. And I said to him, hey, man, how have you been doing this for like 18 years, like playing Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves or whatever it was?
Dude, that's actually a great question.
And he told me something that I will never forget. He said, I think about the people that bought these tickets 6 months ago. They have their calendar. This date has been circled. They put hard-earned cash down, and they've been looking forward to this night for months. And he said, if I go out there and I don't give them 1,000%, I'm disrespecting them. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. So even if I don't feel it, and look, we all have nights we don't feel great. We don't want to get out there and, whatever, you don't feel like playing. But I remember it almost daily. I think about it, and if I'm in a mood or I'm tired or whatever, and then I think about, okay, there's a mom and a daughter. It's her first concert, or there's a kid, a guy who learned Iris on acoustic and loves the band and whatever it is. And it really helps me, because I think about them and I go, because I remember that was me going to see, Bon Jovi or Stevie Wonder or whoever. I would go to concerts. I'm so looking forward to it, man. Wanting these amazing shows. And, I'm up there. Yeah, I'm not in the spotlight, but I'm up there and I bring a lot of energy when I play. Even from behind the keyboard, I'm always moving and I'm singing on almost every song. And, that's how people get inspired. You go see somebody, you see somebody play and you look up there and you go, I want to do what that guy's doing. That guy, I want to be a keyboard player. I want to sing, or I want to be a guitar player like that guy and sing backgrounds with this girl. So I think about that, and I think he was like so dead on. It's such a great thing to remember. And also it keeps you grounded and remember that, we're there to entertain these people. It's like, even no matter what's going on in our personal lives, have a bad day or something's going on at home or your dog is sick or, whatever, you got to respect those people out in there, because they're paying your salary, So yeah, I always remember that, he told me that. And, I think about it a lot, like especially when I'm having a day,
shitty day.
or a week.
So, interesting you say that, because I've had some pretty successful artists on this show, and the ones who've had the longevity, we get into that conversation, and almost 100% of the time they say, that's almost verbatim what they say. They say, listen, I don't always have a good day, but I know that lady sitting there spent her entire paycheck to get that seat.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to disappoint her.
Can't.
So I think that's the best people that, I think that's a contributing factor to success. Having that attitude.
You have to respect the crowd. I mean, you have to respect these people. People fly in, people have reunions that they haven't seen, friends. You know, you got to get out there and talk to them and understand dollars, many dollars. They were getting hotel rooms, rental cars, flights, seats, VIP packages. They buy the hoodies and whatever, like, and they love the music, you know, it's in their soul. They know all the words. They, you know, how much time they've spent with this music. I mean, you know, how many times they've listened to these songs, and then you get up there and that's your gig, man. You got to give them everything you have. You know, and I think that's when, you know, if you're not doing that, that's when you got to move to another gig or another job or something. Yeah. And I've seen that with guys too. And, you know, and I can be critical of that at my stage of my life. If I see somebody on a gig that's shoegazing or, you know, not respecting, I've seen people in bands, like real bands. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's in one of the coolest bands that I know, and he looks like he's miserable. What are you doing?